Okay, cool. So I guess that's the cue, right? We're ready to rock and roll. All right, guys. Hey, my name's Kelly Cook. I am a real estate agent out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I've been doing real estate for 18 years. So I joined Real about a little over a year ago, and it's been amazing. Best career decision I've made. So that's fantastic. But we sold over, well over, I think, 2,200 homes now in my career. So really enjoy the real estate industry and enjoy giving back to others and teaching. So we're today teaching this class on Real Academy on Facebook and Instagram paid ads. Now, we have several courses that are all somewhat similar off the same topic, but today is specifically on content promotion. So the same system we're going to cover today, I've taught in Real Academy before for listing promotion. So if you have a listing, how do you promote that proactively and with a target, so you don't spend an unlimited amount of money, because none of us, I don't think, have that, right? So we want to obviously target who we're trying to get the information to, the avatar buyer for the houses, right? And then plus is a 2-for-1 because the sellers love it too, right? The sellers love your marketing plan because it's not just put a sign in the yard and hope and pray. So it's really, really cool. But this one's about content promotion. So obviously, let me set the stage real quick. Obviously, we know we can go on to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, right? Whatever platform, Threads, and we can post about whatever we want to post about. And we also know there's an algorithm behind that for these social media platforms that may or may not show it to the people you want to see your content. So this is another way now, because it's a pay-to-play world, right? Where you can get that same content you're posting about whatever it is out to a certain demographic of people and more people for a very affordable amount of money. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I believe they made me a post here, and got a little presentation here that we're going to cover. Okay, so here we go. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. I'm going to now go full screen here to present this. Okay. There's a little presentation we have for this content, but here you go, guys. So Facebook and Instagram content promotion system. All right, create marketing campaigns that promote all of your content. So again, the great thing about this is once you create one piece of content, it could be a post about you and your kids going to the pumpkin patch, or it could be a post about your newest listing, or it could be something way cooler than any of that stuff, right? And once you do it one time, it's there. So you now have the ability to promote it to multiple different people that maybe the algorithm organically is not sending it to. All right. So here we go. Let's dive in. All right. And we're going to go, as long as we need to, but, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever we need to do here. But I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to move through this content. It's not super long, but if you have any questions, certainly you can put it in the chat, and hopefully I'll be able to see that on my screens here. But I'm going full screen on the share. Here we go. So about me again, father of 3 kids, let's see, 9, 10, 11, and played football in college, University of Nebraska, when we were good. We're not so good anymore, unfortunately, but this is back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then I coached at Nebraska and at Ole Miss in SEC conference as well. Then started real estate in 2005. And I've been running a team now for about 15 years of the 18 that I've been in real estate. I'm also an investor. I love buy and hold. Love it, love it, love it. So one of these days, I'll probably teach a class on that because I just absolutely love it. And then I'm a coach at heart, obviously. We coach certain agents on my team, and I've been a coach for other companies as well in the past. And then, of course, at the end of the day, I just love starting new things, right? Being an entrepreneur. And that's why I love Real, because it allows you to do it as an agent with the business yet you're in. So love that aspect. Okay. Enough about me. Here's a little preview of the course we're going to cover here today. Overview of ads, structure of ads, because you got to kind of know the foundation you got to build before you start doing it. Campaigns, ad sets, targeting, retargeting, and then the ads themselves, Q&A, and then what's next. So I think I'm gonna hit the next one. Okay, before I go there, let me just also say this real quick. If you did not know, obviously Facebook owns Instagram. There is a ads Manager. So when you go to your Facebook account, you have to have a Facebook account. When you go to it, there's a Ads Manager on the sandwich bar, menu bar, right? That you can click on, and then that leads you right into the Ads Manager. Now you have to set it up one time if you haven't done so, but it's super easy to do. Just follow the prompts, go through it, super easy, no problem. Once you're there, and by the way, they have an app too. It's really cool. So you can actually do a lot of this, not all of it, but a lot of it from your phone, which is really cool. Check on your ads, see how they're performing, stop the running of the ads, so stop the money being spent for a little while, pause it, stop it, whatever you want to do, restart it. It's pretty cool, pretty effective to do. And why? Because Facebook wants to make money. They want you running ads. They want you with full control. They want you to have visibility on it at all times. So you can have much visibility on it as you would like from your app on your phone or your laptop, desktop. So when you log in, you're going to go to your Ads Manager. And then once you go into the Ads Manager, you're going to see how to start building an ad. Okay, so here's a piece of content that we created. Okay, so this was I was teaching a class on something, and we made a post about it. So as you can see, the caption was, I know, all I talk about is real estate, but that's because I love what I do. One of my greatest joys is helping others, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then we had the text right there coming on to the screen at the bottom. Whatever I was saying at the moment, it's a video. People can play it, listen to it, etc. Now, we posted this to my Facebook, Instagram page, but we also ran a paid ad regarding it on both platforms, which you can do. Now, you can choose to run ads just on Facebook or just on Instagram, but why not do both? We are really trying to build our Instagram page organically. I'm late to the game, guys. I'll be honest with you. I was doing more, I'll just be honest, I was doing more selling real estate. I was doing more of paid ad stuff for years and didn't take the organic growth of social media serious enough. I'll admit that, and that's what it is. I can't make up for that time. All I can do is try to get better from here on out. So that's what we're doing. So we're obviously posting organically and trying to grow it now. But, from a follower standpoint, if I'd have been doing this 10 years ago, like I should have been doing, it would just blown up, right? But now everyone's doing it. So it's a little more challenging, a lot more content out there to try to grab the attention of the limited amount of people that are looking. So it is what it is. But all you can do is start from today, okay? Because I wish I would have done it and I didn't, but here we are today. So we are posting we're posting content organically of whatever it is we're doing. And by the way, you all know the situation on this. Make it a mix of content promotion. Okay. When you're doing content promotion on all these platforms, don't be all about work. Don't be all about work. Okay. I like the mix of like 4-to-1, sometimes 5-to-1. So for every 5 posts, let's call it, you're doing 1 about your business, your work, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what I like. It could be 4-to-1, could be 3-to-1, but don't make it 1-to-1. People get kind of turned off by that at some point. But we are trying to grow our Instagram page, so we definitely are running ads there. Facebook, we're not purposely trying not to grow it, but I'm an old school dude, so I have a bigger following on Facebook, or at least I did. Now we're reversed that, and we're trying to go bigger on Instagram and so on and so forth, right? Different age groups, different audience. But we still like Facebook. Don't get me wrong. We love Facebook because, guys, the people with the most amount of money, what social platform they're on? Facebook, because they're the Generation Xers, if not the baby boomers, right? That are on Facebook the most, and they have the most amount of money, which means they can afford the biggest houses, or at least a house in general at all, right? So don't ignore Facebook. All right. So then overview of ad. So we talked about some of these things. More exposure to your content, way to capture more leads, whether it's clients or agents, depends on what audience you're going to. We have 2 different campaigns, 2 different setups, where we have one targeted towards agents, where we're trying to get our content we promoted, whatever it may be about. If it's about agent stuff, real estate agent stuff, then we are promoting that specifically, which is awesome because you can do this, right? You can divide it into two agents on social media. The other one goes towards buyers and sellers, clients on social media. So if it's something about me, my family, or whatever, or doing something, then that will go towards buyers and sellers, past clients, et cetera, right? If it's something about, a real estate class we're teaching, that might go just to the targeted audience on for agents on Facebook and Instagram. All right, easy to do and low cost. You can set your budget for whatever you want it to be. Okay, why not? You're already posting the content. might as well push it to more people. And I talked about this on my last class, but it's the old, I'm from Nebraska, so I don't really have that Southern accent, but it's like a twofer, right? So if I was in like, Alabama, I'd be like, this is a twofer. So why not do the twofer? You're already doing it. Okay. So here we go. Structure of ads. Okay. How to format your ads. It starts with your campaign. It literally does. That's where you start. Okay. I'm at my ads manager. I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. So where do I start? What kind of campaign do you want? That's where it starts. You can see kind of a little screenshot we put on the presentation here of kind of how it works, kind of like a subset, right? You have almost like your email folder, right? You have an email folder, then you have a subfolder, then you have a subfolder of the subfolder, and so on and so forth. That's how this kind of works with the campaigns. It starts with your campaign. This is where you select your goal. In this case, it's traffic or engagement. Now, on the next slide, we'll show you some more about that. In your campaign, you'll set up an ad set. So it starts with the campaign, then you go to an ad set, then you go to the ad itself. So it's like a stepped formula. In your ad set is where you'll build out your ad. In this case, it's content promotion ads. You don't even have to do new content, which is great. Now in listings, you kind of do. You kind of do because you haven't put an ad out there, or excuse me, you haven't posted something about your listing. Or maybe you have, But if you haven't, you have to take the information off MLS, you put it on the, you kind of use some more stuff to do. For content promotion, content creation, and then promoting that out like this, you already wrote the ad, or excuse me, you already wrote the content. Now you have to just include it in an ad set. Okay. Which is really cool. All right. Next one. Okay. Campaigns. Here we go. So we have some screenshots on here, as you can tell, because I think it helps. I'm a visual learner, so it really helps me. If I was watching a presentation on this, a class on this, I would like to see a little bit of both because I like to see pictures. I'm the guy who likes to read books and with my eyes, right? So the more pictures, the better. All right. What is the goal you're trying to achieve? This is where you select the goal you're trying to achieve for your ad. In this case, it's engagement. Now, if you look on the far left screenshot, you'll see that it says create new campaign, and then you'll see the campaign objective. So again, we like traffic and engagement. You can do other things as well. You can do leads. Leads is interesting because under leads, typically they'll squeeze the people when they say, yes, I want to learn more. They click your ad on Facebook or Instagram. It'll pop up a squeeze box, landing page, if you will, already built into the Facebook, Instagram system. And then what's kind of cool about that is they automatically populate the contact information of that person that clicked the button in their name, phone number, address. And then all that person has to do is hit submit. They try to make it's an easy button, right? They don't have to fill out the information because, Facebook already has it. And so it just populates it for them and they just hit boom. Now, a lot of times that email might be the email they first created Facebook with, like in, 2002 or something. So maybe they need a new email. So that's not always the best thing because they may have updated their email since then. But you got to play with it. This is where split testing comes into play and all this fun stuff, right? Where you look at the analytics and see what's going on. Okay. So engagement's good. You'll see the engagement description in Facebook. And by the way, every single one will give you an engagement, a description of what that is when you click on it before you hit continue. So engagement, get more messages, purchases through messaging, video views, post engagement, page likes, or event responses. And tells you what it's good for. Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, video views, post engagement, conversation. So we like engagement the most because what we're trying to do in this situation, in this campaign, is we are taking our content we're already posting, right? And we're trying to get it to more eyeballs. And out of that, what do we want? Well, we want people ideally to come back to our Instagram page and follow us. Ideally, that's what we want. This is all organic. We're not necessarily interested at this point in squeezing somebody to get the information because why? Why? Now, our audience, we have two different audiences, right? We have agent style audience and we have buyer, sellers, past clients, whatever audience. So we have different objectives for both, but at the end of the day, we want more engagement from people on our Instagram page primarily. Facebook is good too. But like primarily. Again, there's TikTok and there's Threads, guys, and YouTube, and we're big on YouTube. I love YouTube. Everything Phoenix is our channel. Go check it out. We're consistent as the day is long on that YouTube channel, and it's growing, which is awesome. So Everything Phoenix is our channel there. But for social media, for short form stuff, vertical short form content, we are doubling down on Instagram. And then of course, Facebook, we have the overlap, right? Because it's easy, right? When you post on Instagram, you can hit the button that says share on Facebook. So you don't have to post it again if you don't want. So that just makes it easy. So we do that. And if that, if the algorithm doesn't like that because they know it comes from Instagram, so be it. It's still going out. And then what we do is just make sure that when someone comments on that post on Facebook, what I make sure I do, or someone like Abby, who runs our marketing, we make sure that we go on there and just comment right away, so that, because the algorithm knows if you comment, you're more engaged, you're likely to keep pushing it, right? So that's the game. All right. So this is where you select the goal you're trying to achieve for, like we talked about, that traffic and engagement. All right. You must select the category for housing. Second bullet point down. You must select the category for housing because you're in real estate. You're doing housing stuff, right? There are restrictions and preset settings for this category that you cannot change for fair housing compliance. Like I said in previous classes, Facebook got sued for discrimination for certain criteria that they were allowing people to search by and eliminate people by when they're targeting ads. So they had to get a little more vague on some of the things you can basically target by. So it just is what it is, right? For housing. So you just go in the housing, and then everything's there. So you don't have to worry about, okay, what do I have to do now? They tell you whatever is available to select that you want to target someone by. That's legal. It's there. And now you can choose those different criteria sets of what you want to do. And we'll hit some of those here in just a second on a couple of these slides. Okay. So here we go. Ad sets. Now you create your campaign. You know what you want to do. And by the way, I'm going to go back one slide real quick at the very bottom. Our campaign for this example was name your campaign. Okay. You got to do that. Kelly Cook content promotion. That's what we called it. You could call it John Smith content or whatever you want to do. Right. But that's just really simple to have your campaign have a name. Then you save it. And then of course it's always there. All right, now you're to the ad set. You're on that subfolder, if you will, right? Under the campaign, you're in the ad set. And you have to put a name in here. Name your ad set. So we name ours either targeting or retargeting. Those are two options in the ad set that we have built out in terms of like our funnel. Picture like a tree with branches, right? Targeting or retargeting. And then Kelly content promotion will cover targeting and retargeting more later. And a couple more slides here. Where do you want to send people who view your ads? That's important. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we selected our Instagram account as that is a social media platform for short form content that we are trying to push and grow right now. Okay. So then what's your budget? You got to set that too. Now, if you go to the screenshots over here on the left-hand side, you can see that conversion, there's different aspects you can choose here. So choose where you want to drive your traffic. You want to enter more details about the destination. So you can do it. You can send it to a website. You have a website where people can search homes. You can do that. App. You can do that too, right? Just some sort of app. Obviously, Messenger is an option. And then some people do that. Some people they'll send the traffic to Messenger to try to get DMs. Well, that's not a bad idea, right? Because if they get DM, then you can have a two-way conversation, and maybe you can it's a lead or whatever, right? Maybe you can get something out of that. And then some people will take a software like ManyChat or other software that has AI now and stuff, and they'll start automatically with a bot start communicating on Messenger if you're trying to drive a lot of traffic to Messenger. So that's interesting. You can do that too as well. WhatsApp calls. So obviously, in this situation, you can choose which one you want to do there in terms of conversion. Now you have to define your audience. Okay. Your audience selection is fairly broad. Do you want to be super broad, very specific? Your choice. So in this situation, on this screenshot, you can see it's huge, right? Our estimated audience for being just in the middle is between 229 million people to 270 million people. That's a boatload, right? Estimates may vary significantly over time based on your targeting selections and available data. Now, this is before you start putting other stuff in terms of selection criteria. You can start really narrowing this down if you want based upon who you're targeting. Are you targeting a geographical location, just a certain city, just a certain 25-mile radius in that city? Because obviously a lot of cities are bigger than 25 miles, right? And then all this other stuff that we'll get to in just a second, but there's a lot to choose from. You can really narrow that down, which is probably a good idea. unless you're servicing the entire United States. Now, could you run something like this to where you are just trying to get agent referrals? So people come in, some city you don't work or live in, but you can refer out people. Sure, you can run that campaign too. A little more work, right, and whatnot, but you could do that. But your budget needs to be bigger for the amount of people that you are targeting. Okay, so then let's go to the next one. Targeting versus retargeting. Okay, so targeting is where you find new, this is the key, that's why we capitalized it, new audience members to work with. New. If you have custom audiences, which we'll talk about real quick here in retargeting on the next slide. If you have custom audiences, you'll exclude them here, such as current followers on Instagram and Facebook. So let's say you took all your followers from Facebook and Instagram. Let's say you took your database. Maybe you have a database, right? Which hopefully you do if you're in real estate of some sort of size, and you download that into a CSV file. Did you know that you could then upload that into the backend of Facebook under your ads manager, your business account there, and you can create a custom audience. You can call it simply my database download, whatever, or my past clients, or whatever you want to call it. And then that is saved in Facebook. And that is your now custom audience. So now you can do cool things with that, right? You can be more omnipresent with that. So obviously, I'm going to pause for a second and go on a little bit of a sidebar just for a second, because it's kind of cool with that custom audience thing. Because let's say you have a 39 touch, a 36, a 32 touch program for all your past clients, which every agent should have some sort of touch plan for their past clients to keep in touch with them, right? Because everyone's going to buy, hopefully, or sell within 5 to 7 years again. And so if that's the case, instead of just making the phone calls once a quarter or once every 6 months to check in and see how they're doing, and instead of just sending emails, mass emails out to your database about whatever it is you're talking about, in addition to that, you can post certain things on Facebook, Instagram, and whatever it is, content, right? And you can actually send that content to that custom audience with a budget with your credit card to make sure they are seeing it, because organically the algorithm may not show it to all your past clients and friends. Pretty cool. Now you're more omnipresent. You're more they're seeing what you're doing, whether it be work or personal, on a somewhat consistent basis, which is kind of cool to be able to touch a lot of people if you have a big database, especially, or a lot of followers on Facebook or Instagram. Pretty cool. Because again, even though someone's following you on Instagram, doesn't mean if you post something about whatever, doesn't mean they're going to every single one of your followers is going to see it. First of all, they have to be on the platform, and if they're not, and they are, excuse me, it still doesn't mean they're going to show your post to all your people. So, all right. So can target the whole U.S. or select cities or destinations. We choose to select specific cities to run our ads in, typically ones with migration patterns to Arizona. So we're in Phoenix. It's a pretty big destination city, right? Our population is growing and growing rapidly. It's one of the top cities in the country. So we have a leg up there for maybe some people who don't live in a city like that. So that's pretty cool. But no matter where you live in America, there are people moving there. That's just a fact. It may not be as many as Phoenix, but people are moving there wherever it is. And so if someone's moving there, there are websites, there are data sites that you can go to that actually will show you where the top 5, for an example, the top 5 counties or cities are in America that are responsible currently for bringing the most population into your city or your county. Pretty cool, right? And if that's the case, why not run, if you're running ads, instead of just like, throwing a dart at the board of the map of the United States, why not choose a place that maybe actually data shows people are moving to your city from that place? Not a bad idea, right? So there you go. That's one thing you could do. Or you could choose the whole US, or you could choose just, your big, huge metroplex or whatever it is, right? Or maybe just your state. You can do all that. You can also add detailed targeting which will target people with a specific interest. This is cool. ZillowRealtor.com and more. Yes, even though you're promoting content and not a listing, you can still use these as interests, as these people are normally interested in real estate or real estate agents. So for example, what we're saying is this, guys. What we're saying is, did you know in the back end of Facebook that you can pick a city, pick a geographical location, whatever, and then you can do a few other behaviors and interests. One of those interests, which is really cool, is they track, back into Facebook, right? They track people that are searching on Facebook and Instagram that are also currently searching on those home sites or home portals. those home search portals, right? Like Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, Redfin.com, etc. So is it true or not true that someone that maybe is, showing likes and interest for your city, and in addition to that, are currently in the last 30 days looking on, I don't know, Realtor.com for homes in your city, that maybe, just maybe, they're more likely to be a potential buyer for a property in your city. So whether or not you're just doing content promotion about whatever you're doing, or you're actually promoting a listing of yours, either way, that person's probably a little more interested in buying a house or in real estate in general in your city, because the data is showing that it probably is the case. And if that's true, why not get in front of those people, as opposed to just some random person that lives, like, I don't know, 3 states away that you have no clue who they are or what they're even doing. Right? That's what I would think, right? And that way, this is how you use your dollars that you're spending on from a marketing budget way more cost effectively and much more smart. All right. So then if you look at the screenshot, you can see the visual side of this, right? So audience, define who you want to see your ads, create that new audience. And this is where the custom audience you will exclude. So if you do have a custom audience called, my database download or whatever, then you will exclude, see a little button that says exclude, you exclude them here, because in targeting for this campaign, you really want to find new people, and you already have the custom audience. That's a database. You already know them, so you don't want to try to attract them again. That's kind of silly. You already have them in your grasp, if you will, right? So you can do age, right? Age. You can do gender, and there's many other demographics too that you can search and target by. Kind of cool, right? All right, next one. So what is retargeting? Now this is just the opposite. Now, if you're not using retargeting in your business right now, you're missing the boat, because this is a very cost-effective, cheap way to, again, stay in front of people, whether they're past clients or whether like, cold leads that you don't know about yet, but they did register on your website, let's say. This is a way to stay in front of them and to keep staying warm in front of them. So in this situation, we're trying to now nurture and warm up the people that are already in our world, okay? So retargeting is where you select a very specific audience of people you already know / have worked with, or people who have already seen and interacted with your business that you may or may not know, typically your database, right? This case would be your Facebook and Instagram followers as well. And this is where you'll select your custom audiences. So now you go back to your database download custom audience spreadsheet, right? That's saved in back on Facebook, and you include them, okay? Instead of excluding, you include them. And you can also, in this same situation, target the whole US as well, or the same cities that we talked about earlier, that same strategy. You can also add in detailed targeting, same as with the targeting aspect, for specific interests. So you could do your database download, like let's say, man, Kelly, I've been terrible. I haven't kept in touch with my database, right? And I've been doing this for 6 years, real estate. And man, I've sold a bunch of homes, but man, I haven't done it. And I don't want to call them because I feel embarrassed. Well, okay, that you kind of probably got to get over that a little bit, right? But let's say you just can't get over it. Or let's say you just want to, do more than just call them back to say, hey, so I apologize, John and Susie. I did not keep in touch with you, but you are valuable to me as a client. I really appreciate your business, and I don't take it for granted. So from here on out, you will be hearing from me in multiple different ways. And just to show my appreciation, so that when the time comes where you think of selling real estate again, or anyone else you know of in your world, church, family, friends, wants to sell real estate, I would love to have the opportunity to have an at-bat as your preferred real estate agent of choice. Something like that, right? Now, in addition to that phone call, you can also do this. You can retarget them. So now you start making a plan to be consistent, not just in staying in touch with your past database, but also with social media. So you're making content about, your family. You're making content about the work that you're doing on a daily, weekly basis. And now you have an ad running in the background where it's specifically going towards those people. So now they're like, oh my goodness, not only did I hear from Jimmy about, he apologized by not keeping in touch. Now I see him on social media all the time. What in the world? This guy looks like he's, doing really well. He's selling some homes. Some people are living in 5-star reviews on Zillow. He's posting on Facebook, and man, he looks like he's doing okay. I'm going to, keep in touch with Jimmy now, and keep in my forethought, because, when we want to sell, I'm going to use Jimmy. He looks like he's doing really, really well, whatever. Right. So that's the whole concept here, guys. That's the concept. Meanwhile, you're out doing whatever you're doing. The technology is working in the background on your behalf. Okay. Okay. Next one. Ads. Okay. So now you did the campaign, the subfolder of the, or subset of the ad set, and now the last subset or subfolder of the ad campaign, or the ad campaign, ad set, excuse me, which is now the actual ad itself. All right. Ads, where you build your ad display. Give it a name and that is easily identifiable. You don't have to search in your archives for a certain ad that you may want to like repost again or edit or whatever, because you have so many ads running and you can't find the darn thing, right? That's frustrating, right? So just name it whatever is easy identifiable, right? It's the best way to put it. We name our ad set based on the week the content was posted, because for us, it's a weekly strategy. Now, that doesn't mean we're posting content once a week. No. We're posting content daily. But now we're going to promote it and look at the ads and how they're performing and new ads, etc., on a weekly basis. That's our system. So here we go. Content, as an example, content promotion, September 11th through September 17th. Okay. Content promotion, January 2nd to January 8th. There you go. You get the idea, right? We name it the weekly basis. Okay. We then name the ad the day of the week that the piece of content was posted. Okay. Remember, the ad set was the week. The ad was the day it was posted. So Monday, September 11th, promote the piece of content posted that day. Sunday, January 8th, promote the piece of content posted that day. So you look on the screenshot here and you can see there's that same ad, the same piece of content that was created that we then chose to run an ad for. And that was Thursday, September 14th. Okay. So now if we want to go back and find that one ad, man, I remember I taught that class like, early September. And so, but the ad was probably shortly thereafter that. So let's go back somewhere in the early to mid-September. Oh, the 14th, there it is. Boom. Okay. And you can see here that the ad setup was using the existing posts, because the cool thing is like, you don't have to recreate this. It's already stored in the system because you posted it just organically on your Facebook app, whatever you did, it's stored. They have everything. You can just go pull it right up and boom, run an ad for it. Pretty cool, right? So go to the next one. This is still part 2 of the ads. Building your ad display. Okay, a few more bullet points here. You don't have to re-upload the content you posted. You can pull it straight from your Instagram or Facebook page in the Meta Ads Manager. So what we just talked about, right? No need, which is really cool, no need to write a description. It will use the caption you use when you posted the content. So you don't have to rethink about, oh my goodness, got to write something captivating that someone's going to like to read, blah, blah, blah. I got to hook them. Well, if you did a good job of that the first time, you're good. It's already there for you. Promote it both on Facebook and Instagram page, on your page, to have your promotion running on both, but link it to one for people to watch or learn more. And for us, we choose Instagram. Play around with it, have fun, try new things, and then adjust. Now, if you're maybe, I'm in my early 40s, so I kind of like walk that line where I could be all in Facebook and probably be okay. Maybe a little bit, younger for the people who are all out on Facebook right now and not using Instagram at all. But I'm probably a little bit on the older side to an extent for people who are like sold out on Instagram. And I definitely am not in the age range for TikTok, right? We still post there, but I don't, I don't know. TikTok's a little different. So you look at the screenshot again, you see the Facebook page where it came from, the Instagram account, Kelly Cook Homes, and then use the existing posts. And you hit that down menu, it has all these posts, right? That you can, or it'll show all your existing posts, your previous posts. So you can pull up and choose which one you want, which is really cool. It's really cool. All right, the next one. Oh, that's it. Man, I just blew right through that. Okay, yeah. So that's it. So now, at this point, just to recap it, you'll have your ad ready to go. And then you've already set a budget. You've already set a daily budget. And by the way, you can do daily budgets, and you can set a time or a day, a day for your budget to stop. So let's talk about this for a second, guys. Let's say that you said, you know what, I don't want to spend more than I don't know, $100 a month on this just specifically content promoting my already content I've created on these social media sites. Okay. Then you just literally say, okay, a month, I'm going to divide that then. So, I should have chose a better number. 100's way too hard to divide in my head, man. I'm bad at it. Okay. But 100 divided by 30, whatever that is. Right. And then that's your daily budget. Now, well, Kelly, what if I have 10 pieces of content I'm constantly promoting? First of all, can I do that? Absolutely. You can do that. Why not do that? I think you should do that personally. But and your budget can stay the same if you wanted to. So if that's like if that's like $3 and like, 15 cents a day or something, that terrible math, then that means if you have 10, that just means obviously it's going to be spread out a little more thin, right? So it won't go to as many people for each piece of content, but you can do that. Or if you add one at $3.15 a day or whatever it is, then obviously that one piece of content, whatever it is going to be, promoted to a lot more people, if that makes sense. It also depends on, like as we talked about, your target audience. If you have 200 million people that you're sending it to, that's going to be, it's going to be pretty thin for $3.15 a day. Pretty thin. You're not going to hit all 220 million. Let's be clear about that. But if you jacked up that budget or kept the budget the same, but really squeeze down your audience, then a lot more of that audience will get that promoted to them while they're on the platform, the Facebook or Instagram, whatever you're advertising it. So you can just play around with it, guys, to see what's best. There's a whole, the next course, we'll talk about analytics. That'll be next month. That we'll talk part 2 about content promotion. But I have a slide on that here in just a second, slide number 8 here, coming up. But what's cool about that is you then will be able to then know how to look at your analytics to know what's working and your relevant scores, your impressions, your click-through rates, all that stuff. And if an ad is not working, you can either choose to shut it down or pause it, whatever, right? And don't spend more money. And you can see what pieces of content you are promoting. If you're promoting like 10, like we talked about, you can see which one's performing the best. And if one's performing really, really well above all other 9, then it'd probably be smart as a good business owner, business person to then say, well, let's just pause all other 9 right now. And for the next week or whatever, how long you want to run the campaign, let's dump all that budget into ad number 10. Because that one's performing, man. People are looking at it, people like it. The watch time is good, the engagement's good, all that fun stuff, right? So that's where you can really get kind of geeky and nerdy on the data. We look at it on a weekly basis too. You can look at it daily. You can look at multiple times a day. Like I said, you have that app, so you can look in there and see what's going on and pivot. You can do that. It's just a matter of time, right? How much time do you have to focus on that? So I don't know if there are any questions, guys. If there are not, you will not hurt my feelings, I promise. But if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can just speak up on the microphone or the Zoom here. No problem. If you're thinking about questions to ask, last slide here. Last slide. What's next? Okay. So next month, we'll be talking about part 2 of content promoting your organic content you're already creating for social media platforms. How to build custom audiences for content promotion, how to build lookalike audiences. That's a really cool thing that Facebook and Instagram does for content promotion, your CRM connection, your pixels, and the analytics like we just talked about. Okay. So that's coming next month as like a part 2 for specifically promoting your organic content you're already doing on Instagram and Facebook. Cool. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Don't be shy. Okay, no worries. You guys, you can always find me. Let me just tell you where you can find me if you want to reach out. I believe this is the last slide. Let me just make sure I didn't screw this up. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, instead of verbally telling you, there it is. There's my email. That's our office line here. Social media. Guess what? We only put the Instagram handle. I told you. That's just at Kelly Cook Holmes on Instagram. And that's TikTok too and everything. But TikTok, Instagram is where you want to be, right? We're watching that on multiple times every day, obviously, right? And then YouTube, right? Everything Phoenix is a good YouTube channel that, I think it's good because I'm biased, of course. But we're trying to grow that. And if you have any comments about what we can do better, because we don't pretend to know it all, that's for sure. Some of you guys listening to this class might know more than I do. We do. I can promise you that, right? But we know a little bit about a little bit. So we're going to keep trying to sell homes. The market's getting tough, guys. So I would say that, now's the time, little comment about that. Now's the time to really sharpen your pencil in terms of your marketing budget. Don't be elaborate on it, but at the same time, you have to do it. You have to reinvest back into your business. So again, quick rule of thumb on that, 10%. 10%. Whatever gross it is that you make on a deal or 10 deals or 75 deals or whatever, you need to reinvest the same percentage back. Well, but Kelly, what if it's starting? You're starting to see that the market's starting to slow down a little bit, and yes, you want to be cognizant of that. And maybe if you have to pull back a little bit on that, pull back a little bit on it, but don't pull back all the way, and don't pull back, a ton. because I'm telling you, the people right now that stay with the consistency of trusting the process are the ones that will build market share that may not lead to dollars right now. But if and when rates do come down, and we think it's going to be 2024 at some point, and the economy then picks up a little bit, right? Which it will at some point. It could be 25, but I think it's next year sometime, 2024. Then you will be poised and positioned well to then have people reaching out to you as the authority, because you're the one who never stopped letting off the gas when times got tough. Okay, that's my word of encouragement to you today on the class. And guys, if there's no other questions or anything, that's all I got for you. So I appreciate everyone who joined today, and that's how you can reach me. So feel free to reach out. I promise you, we'll get back to you. And if you don't mind going to Instagram, maybe just following us on Instagram, that'd be really much appreciated too, at Kelly Cook Homes. So shameless plug. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So thank you very much, guys, and go kill it. Make it a great Wednesday. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.